Did you know that there's a country just 4 hours away from India that has snow-capped mountains, a desert, green valleys, and turquoise blue waters all in one location? This is Kazakhstan. It's also one of the biggest landlocked countries in the world. So in this video, I'm going to take you through a detailed itinerary for Kazakhstan, how to get there, where to stay, what to do, things to do, and also hidden gems. So let's get started. You see, Kazakhstan is the 9th biggest country in the world, and in 2025, Central Asia in itself is an upcoming travel destination. So how to get to Kazakhstan? It's quite simple. There are flights from Delhi and Mumbai. I, however, flew Air Arabia via Abu Dhabi. The flight was extremely comfortable, the food was great, and the best part is the prices were reasonable. Kazakhstan is located right under Russia, and throughout history, Kazakhstan has been the land of nomadic people, which basically means people who moved around on horses pretty much have controlled this entire region, including the Mongolians. Kazakhstan is an incredible travel destination with diverse range of landscapes, and you know what's the best part? Indians do not need a visa to come down over here. So if you're an Indian passport holder, you can just fly to Kazakhstan and get visa on arrival. However, if you're not from India, you do need to check your visa status on their official tourism website. Now, one of the nicest things about going to Kazakhstan is the flight. On the way to the flight, just make sure you have a window seat because the views from the window are going to blow your mind away. And as soon as you land in Kazakhstan and clear immigration, you can actually buy a SIM card right at the airport. There are two main telecom providers in Kazakhstan. One is Kcell and one is Beeline. Airtel roaming also does work over here, but I would recommend you going with Kcell because they have a better network connectivity throughout Kazakhstan. How to move around in Kazakhstan? Now, the best way to move around in Kazakhstan is by using the local cab services. But one of the best apps that you should download before you land over here is Yandex. Now, Yandex not only takes you to places, but you can also order food from this particular app. Uber also does work over here, but I have found it to be a little on the pricier side. Now, this is for traveling in and around Almaty. However, if you are traveling to places further away from Almaty, you do have to book a cab in advance or hop onto a group tour. Kazakhstan itinerary. Now here is a 5 to 10 day itinerary for Kazakhstan. Now Kazakhstan is a huge country and it's impossible to cover it even in a month. However, in this video, I will take you through all the main destinations. On day 1, you head to Shymbulak Resort, which is about 30 minutes away from Almaty. Now to get to Shymbulak, you can rent out a cab, and once you're at Shymbulak, you have to buy a ticket to take you to the top. Just make sure you buy the full ticket because the views from the top are incredible. Alright, so we have just reached phase 1, and in phase 1 you have a lot of restaurants. There's Paul over there. There's a MasterCard lounge, which is pretty cool. Then you have a few other restaurants. You can grab some food over here, and then there are 2 more phases you can actually go to. That's one phase over there, and then there's another phase right over here. All right, so we are inside the cable car right now, and this is going to take us to right above the mountain. This is supposedly also a ski resort. However, it's summer right now, so I doubt we'll be able to spot any snow. And on level 2 is where the magic happens. You get a 360 panoramic view of Almaty, and if you're lucky, you might even spot a rainbow. But on the back side, you'll see a beautiful mountain range, and in the front, you'll see the city of Almaty. This is a beautiful experience because the cable ride itself is really long and it's interesting. The views in summer varies from the views in winter. A round trip on the cable ride on the Shymbulak Resort would cost you about 12 to 1500. The prices go up in winter. However, you can actually take your car and go all the way to the top as well, but I would recommend the cable car experience. Just make sure you bring a jacket because it gets really cold up there. Alright, so we are at the peak right now, and that's the summit right over there. It's freezing cold down over here. I'm not wearing anything cold, but it's absolutely worth it. Another thing that you shouldn't miss when you come over here is spend some time with these beautiful flowers.
and just soak in the view. And there's one thing which you have to keep in mind. The cable cars shut down sharp at 6 o'clock in the first phase. In the second and third phase, it's about 4:30. So just make sure you are coming down prior, otherwise you'll have to just pretty much walk all the way down.
On day 2, you get up early in the morning and join a group tour to the Sharon Canyon. Now, the Sharon Canyon is going to be one of the main highlights of your trip to Kazakhstan. It's actually older than the Grand Canyon. Now, the landscape out here is unreal and you would feel like you're on planet Mars. After Sharon Canyon, the group tour will take you to a place called the Black Canyon. Now, this is unreal. The entire canyon looks black from the top and you should totally take some time and check it out. On day 3, you will again get up early in the morning and do a trip to Candy Lake. Now on this trip, you're going to see 3 lakes and not one, and also a hidden waterfall. Now Candy Lake is something which you must have seen at some point. It's this beautiful turquoise blue lake surrounded by mountains, and there are trees erupting out of the lake, and it looks unreal from the top. There's a long walk, however, to get down over here, but once you're over here, you will be at peace, and I can guarantee you that you have not seen anything like this ever before in your life. Now the best part about visiting Lake Candy is actually the journey to get down over here. Your group tour will actually drop you to a certain location where you hop onto a van. Now this is an off-roading mini van which plays loud music and goes through rivers and goes up the mountain with funky beats all along, and you're going to be bouncing throughout the journey. This for me was the highlight of visiting Lake Candy. After Lake Candy, then you have Lake Kolsai, which is again a very beautiful lake. Here you can hop onto a horse and go all the way to the lake. Now this lake is unique because the lake goes through the mountains, which looks really special from the top. You can also get a picture clicked with falcons down over here. But yeah, it's a really nice lake as well. Alright, so we have finally made it to the Isaac Lake. Now as you can see, it's a beautiful, stunning green lake amidst so many mountains around. There's a hill over there, there. So, and the lake is surrounded by mountains all over, and that is what actually makes it special. Now, it is said that the lake was actually formed by itself due to a massive avalanche, and then the water actually erupted off the ground right after. Nonetheless, it's a beautiful place covered in smoke and fog right over there. It's just dreamy and straight out of a movie. Isaac Lake is a must visit when you come to Kazakhstan. It's just about 2.5-3 hours away from Almaty. You can do a day trip to get down over here, and you will thank me later. Alright, good morning. So today we are headed to a really beautiful waterfall, and it's a 3-kilometer hike one way. This is about 1.5-2 hours from Almaty. So I'm doing a day trip where I'm going to be checking out the waterfall, visiting another lake, and then heading back. The route's not that challenging, but the weather is really good today. Alright, so we are finally at the waterfall, and just look at how pretty it is. Drone shots coming in 3, 2, 1. I'm sure you love those drone shots, but it's even prettier in real life because you have this mountain view right over here. And the best part about this waterfall is nice cold water droplets keep splashing against your face, which actually makes it really interesting. And as you can see, this is the same water that's been flowing out of the waterfall. I love the journey to get to the waterfall. You know, as they say, it's all about the journey and not the destination. It's really true when it comes to Kazakhstan and all the destinations down over here. And now it's time for us to hike back, and we have a beautiful lunch meal waiting for us. The best part about this is you can select your own fish, the trout, and the trout is cooked right in front of your eyes and served to you without any other condiments. You just enjoy a nice fish out over here, and this was actually the highlight of this day trip for me. Alright, so what we have over here is a fresh trout
straight from the lake with some nice fries, and we are amidst the mountains right now, and this is definitely a dream come true. Just look at this beautifully cooked fresh trout. It's just been picked off the pond over there. Fish is extremely delicious. I think this is the ultimate dream. Having fresh fish in this setup is a dream come true.
Now for day 4 and 5, you're going to be heading to Altyn-Emel National Park.
Alright, so we are at the first mountain. I think this one is called Kakatao and the white ones are called Atkao. Kakatao are the colored ones. As you can see, they have different shades of red, yellow, and there's like a chalkboard color right over there. And this is just vast barren land for miles and miles. It's just so easy to get lost down over here. And then I think we are going to be heading on that route for about 2.5-3 kilometers to get the best view of the Kakatao mountains and also the Atkao mountains, which are over there.
Now this is a 2 days 1 night trip, and I would totally recommend you doing at least 2 days down over here because Altyn-Emel is huge and there are limited tours that go down over here, so just make sure you're booking them in advance. Now imagine desert mountains, rainbow colored hills, and a landscape that's like planet Saturn. Incredibly unreal.
Millions and millions of years ago when the dinosaurs lived, all of this land was deep underwater. And one fine day, when the Big Bang happened, everything just disappeared. Alright, so I don't know what happened. I was flying my drone and getting some content, and the guide actually told me let's leave, but then I wanted to get some good shots, and now there's nobody over here and I don't know how to get back. This is the one mistake people make when they come to Kazakhstan, is you have to stick in a group because this barren land has snakes, scorpions, insects, and so much more. Now I'm just confused whether I should go here or here. All I have is one bottle of water with me right now and my camera. I'm just going to figure out. I found this canal and I am hoping that this canal will lead to the entrance of these mountains. Otherwise, I do not recommend coming over here alone. Always come with a group of 6 to 8 people. Have at least 2 liters of water because it's really hot in here. And God forbid, if you are lost, there's no network either. You are on your own.
On day 1, you're going to be exploring the vast, barren landscape of Altyn-Emel National Park. You're going to spot beautiful animals running in packs in barren desert. You're also going to be spotting some unreal red mountain-like locations where you have to hike onto the top to get an aerial view of the entire region. After that, you're taken to a place where some beautiful home in Kazakhstan where local delicacies will be served to you.
Alright, so our next spot's gonna be a tree which is about 700 years old. As you can see, as you can feel the tree right over here, and you can imagine how much of life this tree must have seen over 700 years. Now that's a long time, but nonetheless it's a stunning tree. Just have a look at this.
On day 2, you're going to be going to the famous singing sand dunes.
Alright, so I finally made it to the legendary singing dunes of Kazakhstan. Now this getting here was an adventure in itself. It took me about 2 days to get down over here, but I can tell you that these have been some of the most memorable 2 days of my life. I wasn't anticipating this, but it's extremely windy up over here. It's not for the faint-hearted because the wind's blowing at least 80 kilometers per hour with sand in the air, and we're all stranded right on this mountain over here. It's freaking insane. Just look at that.
Now do not underestimate this hike to the top of the sand dunes. It might look easy from below, but as you climb these sand dunes to the top, your feet keep sinking in, and once you're at the top, you can slide down the sand dunes, creating a noise, and that is why they are called the singing sand dunes. On days 6 and 7, you're going to be extremely tired, so this is perfect to actually explore Almaty and just chill, have some amazing Kazakh food, and explore the city of Almaty and its local markets.
Alright, so this right here is Besh Barmak, which literally translates to 5 fingers. Now it's a dish served with horse meat, homemade noodles, a beautiful broth, and a nice yogurt. And as you can see, this looks freaking insane. It's hot straight from the grill. If you haven't tried this dish, then have you even come to Kazakhstan?
You can check out the Kok Tobe cable car, where you hop onto a cable car and go to the topmost view of Almaty, where you get a 360 panoramic view of the city as well. And it's actually really good for sunsets. Some of the best sunsets are visible from up here. For food, you can head to Navat, which is a beautiful Kazakh restaurant that serves plov, the local Kazakh dish, which is meat with rice. They also do manti, which is like momos but with meat inside. They also have fermented yogurt drinks and a beautiful bread like thing which they serve with cream, which is again incredibly good. If you're a vegetarian, there are a few good local options but very limited. Almaty also has the iconic Zenkov Cathedral that's entirely made up of wood. Now, no nails were used for the construction of this cathedral, and when there was a massive earthquake in Almaty, this was the only structure that survived. On your last day in Kazakhstan, do spend a good amount of time at the Green Bazaar. This is a beautiful local marketplace where you can buy souvenirs, seeds and nuts and fruits, check out the meat markets, buy some nice clothes, and so much more. There's one thing which I would totally recommend when you're coming to Kazakhstan is buying the local nuts, because you do not get that quality back in India. Now here is your budget for Kazakhstan. Your round trip flight from India would cost you about 25 to 30,000 if you book it in advance. Your accommodation per day is roughly between 3 to 7,000 for some decently mid-range hotels. Your food per day would cost you about 2,000 rupees. Now if you're traveling to remote areas, you can also pack your MTR ready-to-eat sachets from India, because the vegetarian options over here are also limited. Your day trips and your group tours would be an additional 3 to 5,000 per tour. Altyn-Emel itself was the most expensive trip that we took. I think it was around 14,000 per person, because it was a small group. Now if the group becomes bigger, it would end up costing you a lot lesser. For moving around in Almaty, you can use Yandex Go. Now the prices are the same as they are in India, but for the long trips, just make sure you are signing up for group trips in advance. Do not venture out on your own, because Kazakhstan is an isolated, secluded location, and it's very difficult that if you fall into trouble, that somebody will come out to help you. Kazakhstan is a country that has beautiful mountains, lakes, amazing food, adventure, and even incredible nightlife. So do check out the nightlife when you're down over here. I hope you have really enjoyed watching this video. For more such videos, do hit the like, share and subscribe button, because it helps us create more such videos for you. See you next time.